Good evening, friends, and welcome to Insight. I am your host, Pat Gagliardo. Now let's immediately go right to the lines. Go ahead, Jewett City, you're on.
Warren, do you see work in the future for me?
Well, are you asking me immediate?
Yeah.
As in, like, within the next month or so?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to answer that as exactly as I perceived it. I did feel something coming within like a 6 to 8 week time frame, but I'm only picking up like temporary. That could mean something part-time, something several hours out of the day. And what you will be doing, I feel you will be very harried. The position will require you to be very mobile.
What's that mean?
Well, a lot on your feet, using, being all over the place. Almost could be like maybe, I don't want to say waitress per se now, but I'm getting something where you won't be sitting behind a desk or sitting still. Something where you will have mobility. Okay?
I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
Will I be getting engaged at all in the near future? Or remarried?
Well, I'm sensing someone in your life as in commitment, meaning being with the same individual, but as far as actually saying an engagement as an engagement ring or a marriage, not in the immediate, meaning to me like nothing in the year 93, but let's see what happens to you around the spring of the new year. Then I could say yes to your question, or leading to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening. Go ahead, caller from Plainville. You're on the line.
Yes, I'd like to know when will I meet the man I'm going to marry?
Well, normally I like to stay within a realm of, say 18 months to 2 years. Energy is usually pretty strong to predict in that time frame, and that's why I always give within that time frame. So to say you're going to meet him tomorrow and be married 6 months down the road, I won't do that. I am feeling, though, your career, your personal life, and everything about you, status and everything, is coming to somewhat of a great change for you in the year of 94. 2 dates come to me. I pick up something about the month of April, and I'm also picking up something about the latter part of October or in November. So those will be 2 prominent times of the year for you in the new year for positive change. So be patient.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, caller from Plainfield. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat. How are you tonight?
Good evening. Thank you. I'm very well.
I called you a few months ago, and you were right on target with my love life.
Thank you.
And I had met someone new, and I've been seeing him going on 4 months. And I like him a lot, and we get along pretty well.
You get along very well. However, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, caller, but you know how I work. If you've been watching the program, you know. I'm certainly not trying to be rude or inconsiderate, but I have to take priorities with my energy. Everything that you said to me, I'm going to be in 100% agreement, except I'm feeling as though there's something going on in his life at this present time where he is unable to, say, cross over the line from everything being so, going so well to making a 100% commitment. I'm getting the feeling that there's external reasons and why he can't. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay, so just be patient. He has some things in the works already to get some of that external person or problems aside so you can start making some plans. And 4 months isn't all that long to, you know, to be impatient. But you'll find by winter time and in the first quarter of the new year, he'll be in a much better position to make more positive plans. And I'm very happy for you because it's been long in coming for you.
It's just that we get along really great.
Your communication and conversation is great. I'm sorry?
I don't want to lose this guy.
I don't feel that will happen, but you don't want to apply pressure. You know these external circumstances are out of his control a little bit, so be patient.
Okay.
And as I said, it's been a long time coming.
Could I ask you one more thing?
Quickly.
I'm at a job right now, and it's temporary, and I'm just wondering, do you think it'll be longer that I stay there? Or?
I'll only answer that it can be extended only if the position is made available. I'm feeling as though they only could give temporary because that's all the work would allow. So the probability of it not being really full term, probably not. But let's see what comes about by the latter month of August into September. They may open up another area for you. May not be exactly the same kind of duties, but in that same place.
Okay.
So be patient.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night. Have a pleasant evening. Go ahead, Westerly, Rhode Island. You're on the line.
Hi. I was just wondering if you could tell me if there's going to be anybody coming into my life anytime soon.
Before I answer that, is there someone presently in and out of your life?
Sort of.
Well, that's why I said in and out. I thought so. So you're kind of like, you're involved, but you're not really involved. I mean, there's not any really heavy-duty commitment or dating going on.
Oh,
but I do
no.
feel someone in and out of your life. Somebody may call once in a while. Somebody may see. But there's not any rockets. There's not anything going off that shows me that it's anything fabulous. So I will say that that relationship is probably just going to be something you'll stay with until Mr. Right comes along. And that doesn't even mean in commitment. And I will tell you, too, cold weather shows me change. And it may not necessarily be this year. I may be looking into 94, 95. Now, don't get dismayed over that information, but you'll be okay between now and then. Caller, please don't go anywhere yet. And if you have another question, I'm sorry, but I have to go with what's coming to me. Would there be any reason, there is a house that comes to me, there's a little bridge that I went by, and then I go on this kind of like a side road, and I'm getting an area where either this is a lot of used cars or a place where there's
Old cars, maybe?
Old, yes.
Yes.
Why does that area come to me so strongly about you?
My parents' house?
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. But, well, there is a person there ill. And if you don't know what I'm speaking of at this very moment, then what I am perceiving is precognitive, meaning before cognitive event before it takes place. So please stay in touch with your parents. I don't feel it is a life-threatening situation, but I'm feeling a little bit of sadness and I'm feeling some medical attention, and I needed to bring that to your attention. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a pleasant evening, and thank you so much for calling. Go ahead, caller from Preston. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead.
Good. Yes, I was curious if what you saw for, like, my boyfriend and me settling down soon.
Okay.
Not soon, but...
Thank you, because you knew what I was going to answer to that. I know you did, even before you asked me. But I will say this. I like what I feel between the two of you.
I'm very close to him.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay that the compatibility is pretty good. For the most part, things are okay. Be patient. What he needs now is not you clamoring after him for, come on, let's settle down right now kind of thing. He's going through some changes, something to do about wanting to make a change in career, too.
Yes,
or
he doesn't
something.
have a job.
Good. Okay, so be patient then. But yes, to answer your question, but let's look toward the latter part of the year into the new year. So be patient.
Okay.
But it's a good relationship, and that really is so comforting to me because so often I see just the opposite. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
And you know, the reason I don't say, how are you back, because I feel sometimes some of the questions are going to be, well, that's what I want to know. So that's the reason I'm not saying it. Thank you. Have a pleasant evening. Go ahead, caller from New London. You're on the line.
Hi.
Good evening.
I have a question about relationships.
Go ahead.
And am I going to have one in the near future?
Well, I have to answer this honestly, caller. The very first thing that came to my mind is you're still carrying some stigma, some old garbage, if I may, and I don't mean to be facetious, and I'm certainly not saying this to be unfeeling, but there's someone else that you haven't cleared up yet.
Right.
It's something that's still taking up your, part of your day. You just answered me yes, so you're confirming what I'm saying to you. And before you can get yourself into a relationship that can really grow and become something positive and long-lasting, you've really got to work through this, and you haven't yet. When you do that, then I'd have to say to you, your life will take a change. So I'm going to give you within a 2-year time frame, and I'm hoping in that time I'll hear from you again. do some things for yourself that are really, really necessary.
Yeah.
Look at that situation as a learning experience and then let it go. Okay?
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I've just started a new business. Is that, how does that look? It's a little slow right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel sort of, my mind said much of the same. When you said slow, I think I already knew that because I'm still getting much of the same. I don't believe it's the type of job now. I don't want you to start getting down on yourself that it's what you're doing. It's economics on a whole. So you may have to look into doing something else in the, in conjunction with to really make ends meet for a while. I don't really start to see anything really positive on your own, so to speak, until sometime in the spring. So things are going to be kind of touch and go, and I'm feeling having to do something else in conjunction with. But you'll be okay. You're strong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. You have a pleasant evening. Go ahead, Groton, you're on the line.
Hi, Pat. My first question is regarding weight. I'd like to lose like 20 to 25 pounds. I'm just having a really...
We're going to do it together?
Excuse me?
Can we do it together? I do too. And I'm going to tell you something right off the bat. The reason I think I made that correlation between the two of us and how it's difficult, you can take charge of any other aspect of your life, I feel. Sometimes it's not always pleasant for you, and it may take you time, and you can be impulsive, but you have absolutely no self-control over your weight. And listen, I'm a very powerful person myself. I understand, I can relate, and I can certainly empathize. Get into a program. I know your finances are tough, but those programs that are real quick and miracle work kind of stuff, they don't work. They may take the weight off for a while, but then it's going to come back and more of it. You really need a good program to follow because you need the discipline.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yes, I do. I was just wondering what you thought about hypnosis as far as that goes.
I think a lot about it because I do it. And I have a program that I know works. There's a couple of people I'm sure watching me tonight that can attest to that. But let me tell you something. Hypnosis is an aid. It is not a cure. The two main ingredients are desire and want. If you really have it, hypnosis certainly can work for you. But you have to have that real want and desire. It's not going to do it for you, but can work real well together. Okay?
Sure. I do have one other question.
I'm sorry, but I've already given you two, and I really need to get on with some of the other calls, okay?
Okay, fine, sure.
Okay, thank you. Have a pleasant evening. And when we come back, I'll be answering your mail, so stay with us. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back. And we're going to go right to the mail, so those of you who are waiting for me on the lines, please be patient, and I'll be with you as soon as we get through with the mail. The first letter tonight comes to me from Lisa from Jewett City. You asked me about health and a second child. Dear Lisa, in looking at your photo, an immediate yes came to me about a second child. Female energy being very prominent to me, but I felt that your present child is very young yet, and maybe 2 years old or less. And perhaps female energy too. I wasn't real certain about that. So within a 2-year time frame, I felt that your health and your child, everything should be kind of coming together. And thank you for your compliments as well. The second letter tonight comes to me from Joanne D. from Groton. You asked me about a relationship with your husband, having a problem with your boys, and a settlement. Dear Joanne, your photo brought so much sadness to me. Definitely your marriage is in some serious trouble, I felt. And it appears to me that your husband feels as though he needs to be in competition for your affection. And I couldn't help but feel that maybe he felt that at least 2 of the boys, one a little bit younger, might have a lot of manipulation where you're concerned. But there's certainly a need for an intermediary in your family because there's a great deal of insecurity, and if there isn't going to be some intervention from a professional source such as a therapist, an analyst, then ultimately I felt that your marriage would fail and result in divorce. The middle child's son, I felt strongly needed a sounding board, again, therapy. Please seek some good sound counsel, for within the next 2 years, the next 2-year time frame, I felt much happiness in your relationship and a lot of concern. The settlement is near, and hopefully that can help with some of the problems, but it certainly won't be a cure. The third letter this evening comes to me from Debbie from New Britain. You asked me about career and romance. Dear Debbie, you certainly are a people person from the energy I felt from your photograph. Not a behind-the-scenes individual, an up-front person. You have a really good personality in the way of being very outgoing and very friendly. I would continue education if I were in your shoes. For some reason, I felt that you could do some sort of social work, maybe teacher, maybe even teaching, and some leadership qualities were very strong in you. Your self-confidence, however, is rather low. Romance, commitment, sometime later in the cold months. And you, too, thank you for your compliments. And the fourth letter of this segment comes to me from Jeannie from Norwich. You asked me about marriage and children and your job. Well, in looking at your photo, 2 children immediately came to my mind. It could be that your prospective mate already has 2 children. It doesn't necessarily mean biological. You have a love of life, a love for life, and a lot of powerful energy about you. Sometimes it can be very misdirected as well. You can have somewhat of tunnel vision. You need to set some guidelines and you need to stick to them, and I know you know what I'm talking about. You shouldn't be so insecure, for you have everything going for you. You're a very pretty person. You have a lot of sensitivity and charm. There should be something coming up in the next, I think several months, a lot of changes, personal and professional. And I felt you should do something in the fashion field. Exactly what, I don't know. It could be hair fashion, it could be clothing, interior design, fashion, and or the health field. Either one I felt would be very, very soothing and comfortable for you to get into. And once you got your feet wet, there wouldn't be any stopping you. And those of you who are waiting for me on the lines, I'll be answering your calls right after this, so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Thank you. And we're back, and we're going to go straight to the lines. Go ahead, caller from New Haven, you're on.
God bless you, Pat, for sharing your gift with us.
Thank you.
My name is Nancy.
Okay. Not necessary, but go ahead.
Okay. I need a financial foundation to create a health, physical, and spiritual retreat somewhere in the Midwest for confused young people. And I know there's some money coming in. I just wanted to know exactly when and about an investment. I have an opportunity. So
okay.
I have 2
well,
questions.
actually, to answer, Nancy, the first part, your first question came to me in 2 parts. I felt money's coming from 2 sources, not only one. Perhaps one and then a little space of time and then the other. And you're going to find there are going to be a couple. If there isn't already, there is a couple, a husband and wife or partners, male and female, very, very resourceful as well as helpful in the way of some monies to help you with this. So be patient. That's coming. Again, I have to give you a time frame of within a year and a half. Within that time, I don't want you to get dismayed thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be that long, but I have to give a time frame of within, okay, to answer your first question. Second question, as far as financial rewards coming, I get held up, or you have to wait. Is there a reason I would feel that?
Well, I have an inheritance coming in, and I've been told it's
so
supposed
you
to be
have
happening
to wait.
In July or August.
Okay.
I thought it was this month.
Okay.
And I have an opportunity to make a $1,500 investment within a 3-month radius of time,
then
having
it should
that grow
be
into
okay.
$12,000. So
Then it should be okay, because that's why I think I felt held up, because you can't get it until that time frame.
Right.
So that's okay. That will be okay as well. And listen, the project you've got in mind is fantastic. Please let me know about it.
Happy to.
Thank you.
Very happy to. Thank you
so much. Thank you. You have a pleasant evening, Nancy. Thank you very much. Go ahead, caller from New London. You're on the line.
Yes, Pat. I'm recuperating from an injury I occurred on the job, and it's really been lingering on, and I'm getting very concerned about the setbacks it's causing and the duration of how long is this going to continue. I'm getting rather concerned.
Oh, boy. I need to ask you, I need you to verify something for me. Did you have a second set of doctors or a second opinion, second something out of this area?
No.
Then are you intending to do that?
No.
And, well, then I'm going to encourage you, I think, to do that, even though I know it's work-related and I know how that can be. For some reason, I'm feeling as though part of the injury, something else is going on inside of you, either in a nerve, something that every now and then gets inflamed or gets upset. And for some reason, I'm feeling like you need to go, like maybe to New Haven, Yale, New Haven, Rhode Island, somewhere else to have it looked at. So I think I would encourage you to do that.
Okay, I did see two different types of doctors. One said there was nothing, and the second one said just the opposite, that there was something seriously wrong. And it is related to the nerves. It's a back injury.
Then that's why I picked up on the second, and I don't know why, but I didn't feel within the same area, so I thought, well, but you just answered that for me. Well, then I would have to go with that second opinion where he said there is something wrong and it is something in the nerve, because that's exactly what I keyed into. I'm not a doctor or diagnostician, and I don't purport to be one, but I have to go with what impressions tell me. And since it is in a nerve situation, unfortunately, I cannot tell you in good conscience that it's going to be all cleared up and go away and end of the story. My further impression says it'll probably be something that will plague you on and off. So that being the case, I'd be very careful about signing any papers or signing anything, you know, without getting that second opinion verified elsewhere if you had to.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Thank you.
Oh, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, caller from South Windsor. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
I had a question. First of all, I just recently started a new job, and I'd like to know if it's going to work out.
Well, let me say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. For some reason, you walked into this place and you felt comfortable there. There's something about the environment. There's something about, it's hectic though, and I think you're a little nervous. Get rid of that nervousness. You're confident, and you should be a very confident young woman. You've got the world by the tail right now. I feel like you're going to get your feet wet. You may have started at the entry level per se. You know what I mean. Don't take that in the literal sense. But we'll say going in the front door. But it's not going to last for you. You have energy. You certainly have know-how, and you're a quick study. You'll probably started here, but will, you know, rather rapidly work your way up. Please don't let the hectic or I guess the I don't know, get all of this, you know what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, don't let that scare you. That, actually, you work better when you're under the gun.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'll be fine. Now, what was your other question?
Second question was, and I guess it would kind of relate to that, my boyfriend and I would like to try and get our own place as soon as possible, and I wonder if that's going to happen anytime soon.
Let me ask you, were you looking actually either to buy or rent a house and not an apartment?
Not specifically.
Okay, well, I'm going to describe something to you. Okay. You tell me if it's where you presently are. If it is, then you'll be leaving this area. But there's an older house that's coming to me, and I mean older, 90-year-old house maybe. Back then they called them A-frames because that's basically how they were built. You had the bottom floor and the top floor that kind of looked the same, and then the roof looked like an A-frame. Basically, except that to one side there is a porch that may have been added on, like somebody may have made a deck to this place.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Is that where you are now?
That's where I am now.
Oh, okay. Then you're going to leave here. Okay. The energy is very strong, though. I hope you know what you're doing about wanting to do that right away, because your finances are a little bit tight.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking, you know, within the next 6 months or something like that.
Because where you are is okay. I didn't feel that, I'm not going to say you don't have all the privacy in the world, but, you know, sometimes little sacrifices are okay if the end analysis is it's going to be for the best. And you need your own place. You're not a condo person. You don't want to listen to your neighbors next door. You need your own little space. So if I were in your shoes, I can't tell you what to do, but if I were in your shoes, I think I would hold off.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Go ahead, caller from Hartford. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
I have two really quick questions. One, I'm not very happy with my career right now. Do you see anything at all? A career change soon?
Caller, is there any reason there's a lot of mobility in the place that you work? Would there be trucks in and out or something?
Transportation, absolutely.
That's why transportation came to me. I thought in the way of...
You're great.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, that's because your energy is real great to work with, so thank you. Okay, I can answer your question very easily then on why I feel you're... it's not real... It's a job that's rather routine.
It is very much
yes,
so.
and that's why you're really not satisfied, because you've got a real active mind. It's tough for you to sit there and shuffle paper.
I can't do it anymore.
I know you can't, because your mind is in Kalamazoo, so to speak.
Exactly.
But education for you is limited. If I were in your shoes, with economics being as stressed as they are presently, if I were in your shoes, I think I would do something about education. Back to school, although I don't feel you super enthralled with this and enthused, you have to be realistic, and you have to know that you are limited. You don't want to leave this piece of cake and go right into another piece of cake of the same, if you understand. So you have to be a little realistic.
Thank you.
And get a little bit more motivated. Okay?
Thanks. One more question. My dad's health.
Go ahead.
My dad's health. They live down in Jamaica, and he's very ill, and I'm very worried about him.
Oh, dear. Yes, and you have reason to be, caller. Unfortunately, I, too, am very concerned because I don't feel it's only one problem. It is one problem creating a lot of other problems. And
I'm here and they're there. They're in Jamaica.
And I know that financially you probably can't afford to go there.
I can't, no.
Well, I can only tell you to call when you can and write. Your dad's health is a concern, and I'll keep him in my prayers.
Pat, please.
Thank you. And we'll be back in just a few moments to answer the mail. Those of you who are waiting on the line for me, be patient. I'll be right back after this. And we're back. And for this segment, the next letter comes to me from Carol C. from West Haven, Connecticut. Carol, you asked me about finances and relationship. In looking at your photo, I felt very strongly that you are indeed a very capable person, even with your bouts of depression and your anxieties. You are very self-sufficient, but your finances run tightly at times. Something to do with management, taking charge of, maybe in sales. That's what kept permeating about your energy to me. Work part-time came to me. Full-time, down the road a little ways, perhaps 93, 94, late 93, 94. Marriage, no, not in that time frame and not in the immediate future. But a relationship, yes, and also in that same time frame. Thank you for your wonderful compliments. The next letter comes to me from Pal B in Norwich. Pal, you asked me about a relationship and health. And boy, what a character you are. You're outgoing. To say you're outgoing is an understatement. Life has made you a real tough, take charge kind of person. You work very hard and you enjoy life also very hard. The relationship that you are in will remain status quo, unfortunately, as long as you permit it to be. Your health has its ups and its downs. Something in your blood kept coming into my mind. I'm not a doctor or diagnostician, but as you know, you've been watching the program. I can only tell you what comes to me via my impressions. Something needs to be checked out periodically, kept coming to me. But you need to stay strong, and you need to continue to fight. God bless you. Thank you so much for your wonderful letter. The next letter comes to me from LG from Central Connecticut. This is a long one. You asked me about a relationship and your daughter with diabetes. And I have to tell you, LG, the photograph of that beautiful little 3.5-year-old girl tugged at my heartstrings like you wouldn't believe. In looking at both the pictures that you sent me, I became mixed with so many emotions. I was very concerned about the recent divorce, and I also would like to go into that with you a little deeper if you would like to, in fact, call me. You need desperately to lighten up the heavy burden that you carry. Please ask your family and friends to help you out periodically, to help watch over you and your 3 beautiful children, so you can have necessary time for yourself to regroup and to re-energize. It's apparent to me that you are devoting very much of your time to your beautiful family. Knowing that you are taking care of them alone really tugged at my heartstrings. But you have to have time to self. Yes, I do see a relationship. As far as a soulmate goes, well, I don't know if he's your soulmate per se, but I suppose that's very possible. But I do sense some sort of a uniform with this man. Could have been that he was in the service or he's connected with the police, something in security. In any event, something that involves wearing or that he had wore a uniform. Certainly a gentleman is what I sensed about him. I sensed his height to be somewhere between 5'9" and 5'11". Very easygoing, rather quiet at times, and that could be a little misconstrued as shy. But also he has a mustache and like a light strawberry hair coloring. The initial D came to me as well. Good luck to you, and I want you to know, I hope it's all right with you, that I placed your daughter's name in my prayer book. She is a precious little child. She's very smart and sensitive, affectionate, and can be very verbally expressive. Please stay in there with the doctors and other health professionals. Down the road, I did feel that they would find something, probably within the next 3 years or so, that will certainly take her from these insulin injections and the dependency. P.S., as I said, I have placed her name in my prayer book. The next letter, and the final letter for tonight, comes to me from C.M. in Farmington Valley. You asked me about marriage and career. My dear C.M., your photo shows me a young woman who has a lot of compassion, love, and tenderness. However, you can be really headstrong and stubborn too, but that's okay. I've been accused of it too. Marriage needs a little reprioritizing, I felt, getting back on track. You need to lighten up a little bit, kick back, and smile a little bit. Get some happiness in your life. Don't be always so serious. Let things sort of take care of themselves. You can't fix the whole world's problems. My husband's been telling me that for over 20 years, and I finally started to listen, so I'm going to pass it on to you. Talk to your husband. Don't talk at him. Let him know what's going on inside of you. Reorganize. Get back to... Okay, you can't, wait a minute now, you also asked me about career. Okay, you need to do something about organizing and instructing. I thought maybe something in the health field, perhaps maybe even in nursing. But I felt that you're kind of squeamish, so maybe nursing isn't for you if you're squeamish or don't maybe like the sight of blood. And yes, you may call me for a private consultation, and that number is 886-9429. I am listed in the white pages as well as the yellow pages. And please, those of you who are waiting for me on the lines, be patient. I'll be back to answer your calls in just a moment. And we're going to go straight to the lines. Go ahead, caller from Griswold. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for giving so much of yourself to so many. Your sensitivity and compassion always really get to me.
Don't make me cry again. I just had to fix my makeup.
I'll cry with you. I've been reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, and it's become very obvious that I have to make a big change in my life. I have to face that boogeyman out there.
Absolutely.
And I have to do it by physically leaving the place I am. I don't know what to do first. I want to know how, when, where. I want you to fix my life in 2 seconds.
Well, I can't do that, and I can only advise by impression. Caller, is there any reason a mobile home comes to me around you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Somebody close to you drive a motor home?
No.
Well, I want you to write it down then, because if you don't, with the changes that you intend to make, this is going to play a role in that somehow. Exactly what, I don't know, but you need to write it down then if you're not aware. You said you have to make changes and make some decisions and maybe make some moves. You said that to me. Mobile home came to me right away. There's got to be a reason for that. So there'll be either something for you to be connected with it, with another individual, or yourself. The second thing that came to me is you're in a situation that has been nothing, meaning no growth, no love, no sharing, and you are a woman with a great depth as well. And you need to have that kind of interaction because it gives you balance. So in that, yes, to answer your question, you needn't ask me yet, you will be making the changes within a year, meaning from this time to this time next year, your entire life. People, situations, relationships, everything. And you've known about it really strongly even before this book came along for about 4 years. But the last year has been really, really difficult for you because your inner self has been crying, saying, I can't take anymore. So knowing that, I know that you're going to make some changes. Several of them will be positive, but place the emphasis on the things about you that you need to change. Not the boogeymen's out here, but the boogeyman that lives inside. Okay?
Just one other question.
Sure.
Is my friend going to lose his house because of back taxes?
It's not only back taxes, though, that's hurting him. It's other financial disarray, too. Oh, boy. There is a good possibility of that, unfortunately. I don't feel there's any other resources out here that he can tap into to get him over the hurdle. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for your wonderful compliments and support. Go ahead, caller from Hamden. You're on the line.
Yes, I'm concerned about my daughter, and she's been trying to get this divorce for 1.5 years. And it seems every time they go to court, they keep delaying it.
Yep.
And also, what I'd like to know, she's due to go back to court, and I want to know, is she going to finally, will this divorce finally be solved?
Well, let me say this to you, caller. I can't say it'll be this particular court meeting or court session that all will be said and done, but I will tell you this. I did feel final at the end, over and done as far as court goes, and no longer being married by fall, early winter months. So let me tell you that. But the second thing, and the priority energy coming to me is your daughter is really, really at a low, low ebb. I'm very concerned about her emotionally and mentally, not just because of the divorce and the dragging, but other things that are going on in her life, and a concern for a little one. A concern for a little one. You might want to encourage her then. I think therapy was in there, but too brief, not enough. And she really needs that kind of involvement right now. I know finances are tough, but you know, all community services offer therapy and help and counseling, and they go by income. And I know there may be a waiting, but she really needs to look into that. Okay?
Yeah, also I was concerned that he's always threatening, that he keeps telling the little one that he said, you know how I'm going to kill your mother.
Oh,
and,
Lord.
Yeah, he keeps threatening her.
That's probably why I kept getting the little one more concerned with. That's a terrible thing to be telling a child. Then she needs to take, and please don't take this lightly, because I do share these concerns. She needs to take every action available to her through the courts, through the law, through authorities, to have him not be anywhere near around. He's not someone then, if these kinds of threats are going on, it's not to be taken lightly.
But this is what I don't understand about her lawyer, why she lets him go and have visitations and have to...
Then it should be taken up through family relations, and she needs to get into this counsel then through other authorities. Please encourage that.
All right.
Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay, go ahead, caller from New Britain. You're on the line.
Yes, I need to know about my health and...
okay, let's do it one at a time then. Your first question then is health?
Yes.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something to come to me that... nothing is jumping out at me that's giving me super concerns. I'm feeling like whatever's ongoing in your health is on and off. Something that crops up periodically and something that needs attention once in a while and then goes along for a little ways and then maybe acts up again. So in that, I'm not going to say that I feel anything threatening your longevity at this point, but I can't in good conscience, via impression, tell you that I feel your health problems are all going to be taken care of in a month. Because you've been going on back and forth, I feel, about your health on and off. So that's the way I'm going to have to answer that, unfortunately.
Yes.
But you also need to do some things that can give you some feeling of being up, optimism, emotional lifts. That's also very, very important to help the physical body get more energized. What is your second question?
I was wondering if Mr. Wright is going to pop up again.
Mr. Wright, huh? Again?
Well, I just lost one a
Okay.
year ago, so I'm looking again.
Okay. Well, nothing immediate, unfortunately, but I did sense male friend, and I feel it's somebody, when I get in the shadows or familiar, what that means to me is either someone you know indirectly, or it's not going to be a total stranger out of the blue, meaning a name you've never heard, or for some reason I'm getting familiar. So I'd have to say maybe it's someone that you may have known, or somebody close to you knows. You don't know that now, but you will. And springtime in the new year, I felt dating, companionship. So be patient. And he is a nice person.
Yeah, the up and down is my diabetes. I have trouble with that.
And that's why I felt getting
something about
checked.
they're going to have some sort of cure. Something.
Well, what I'm feeling is like, because what I meant by that, I didn't mean a cure, but what I meant by that was our medical technology is always changing, and there's always something coming that's better than what they've used before. And I feel like there's something already in the works as far as diabetes goes, at least something that won't be maybe so much insulin dependent. So just be patient.
Yeah.
And good luck to you.
And thank you.
And thank you very much. Okay, go ahead, caller from Lisbon. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
I just started a new business, and I was wondering what you could tell me or advise me to do in this business or career.
You deal with people one-on-one?
Yes.
They come in and you do something for them. Fashion.
Yes.
Fashion.
Yes, nails.
Oh, no wonder I was getting my hands. Oh, I didn't know what. Okay, you'll do very well. I have no problem with it. You're a people person. You chat with your clients, customers, whatever you want to call them. And the only thing is you have to get the word out. Maybe get some cards, but you'll do okay. It won't maybe bring you millions, but it'll certainly give it time for it to get going, and you'll be fine. If you were considering maybe even working in a salon or something, or getting a rental or something, I'd be a little bit patient with that, but until it gets going. But then you're going to get to a point, I think, we're going to get inundated.
Good.
So hang in there.
Good, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Have a pleasant evening. Go ahead, caller from Norwich. You're on the line.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
Good evening.
Fine. I'd like to know what direction my life is going.
Well, that's kind of, that's really broad. Can you kind of narrow it down for me? Can you give me in what way?
Okay, as far as like my divorce and stuff like that is going, you know.
You're in the middle of a divorce? Is that what you said?
Yes. A lot of problems involving it.
Boy, I guess. Oh, boy, I'd like to say to you, you know, just be patient and no, I can't do that. There's been a lot of problems, setbacks. I felt information not being given over, waiting for. Boy, there's a lot of undercurrent going on with this. You may not see any real positive results till maybe way late in the year or even into the early part of the new year. Another thing that bothers me is you're trying to protect something, property, something. I'm getting something needing protecting, or you're concerned about what's going to happen to it. Would I be accurate in saying, are you real confident and comfortable with your attorney?
I don't have an attorney.
Aha, no wonder why I'm getting poor counsel.
I'm waiting for her to get it.
Oh, well then, oh please, no wonder. Then I'm going to advise you, please look into getting an attorney, someone to look in your best interest. Please do that. No wonder why I got it so strongly, poor counsel. You don't have any. Please consider what I'm saying to you, and you should look into that.
Okay.
You really should look into that soon.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, I have another question. Okay, I do have a present relationship, and I was wondering how that is going to turn out.
Well, I'm sensing friendly, I'm sensing supportive, but I don't know if you're really ready to get into anything real committed right now, meaning something to you know, jump into in looking for another marriage right away. You've got to work through some indifference of what's going on here with this present situation. However, I'm okay with the relationship that you're involved in. Okay?
Okay, very good. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it.
And we're back. And for those of you who I didn't get to, who waited for me patiently on the lines, I apologize, but I'll be here with you again next Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock p.m. right here on TV 26. Thank you so much for watching Insight.